Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you the announcement video for Forensic February. So the bare essentials that you need to know are that this is a game board based readathon and it will be running from the 1st to the 28th of February 2025. For the past couple of years I've been running Chloe's Crime Scene Corner, a book club based solely on reading true crime, dark horrors, thrillers, and unfortunately that did tail off towards the back end of 2024. So I wanted to bring something bigger and more exciting to just get me back in the dark book mood, and something obviously more exciting for you to take part in. Apologies if I am looking down at my notes a fair amount. I have got everything typed. I really don't want to mess this announcement video up. I always get so nervous hosting a readathon. I feel like there is so much to do for it. So yeah, I am kind of focusing down on my notes. So I have created an entire game board which looks like this. It is very simple and all of the prompts are on the board. I just wanted something physical that you could move around. There are two ways that you can do this readathon. One way that I will be doing and one way if you really want to be crazy. So what I won't be doing is visiting each space on the board. However, there is nothing to say you can't do this if you just want to work your way around each space, but that does mean you'll be reading 20 books in February, which I don't want to commit to. The way that I'm going to do it is using a 6-sided dice to move around the board and reading the prompts that I land on. I'm going to run through some more of the logistics, but first a very quick disclaimer. This readathon has been created with readers in mind who are interested in true crime, are happy to watch true crime documentaries, and listen to all of the Grizzly podcasts. Though I won't be describing any particular cases in detail, or being vulgar or gory in any way, the readathon is based around the idea of finding a dead body, capturing evidence, and arresting a suspect. If that is not the vibe for you, that is okay. Please feel free to tune out and not take part. I have also made sure that I'm not using any real names throughout the case. We have Jane Doe, John Doe, and Joe Blogs. So all of the placeholder names. I could have been more specific and used like an actual case to base this off, but I don't want to be disrespectful in any way. Saying that, I do listen to a hell of a lot of true crime. There's so much out there if you want all of the grisly details of a case, but I just thought maybe some people wanting to take part don't want that kind of knowledge. That being said, to start the readathon, you will need to start just outside of space 1. I don't know if this is going to work, but it says start here. Annoyingly, I don't mean start on that space, I mean off that space. So if you're rolling for the prompts, rolling a 1 will mean you land on that first block rather than starting there. Does that make sense? So I have a story to work you around the board. I did want to make this as general as possible, as I said. Maybe we can do some deep dives later on, but for now it's a very general idea. So obviously you don't need all of this information if you're reading for the prompts and just going onto that square. Again, the board also says the details of each square, so don't be too stressed out about that either. But I wanted to give you a little bit of background to the whole story. So we start off on square number 1. After years of rookie work and building your way up in the force, it's time for you to tackle the big cases, the murders. Enter the detective, read a mystery or thriller. Moving on, it's a good thing you're ready for the work because a body has been found in the woods outside of town. At first glance, it appears to be a young female, 25 to 30 years old. Read a book with a person on the cover. You can't do this alone, so let's bring in the forensic team. Body read a book or read one with a book club. If you don't have any available to you, just read any book that has been included in a book club before. For example, you could use mine, Chloe's Crime Scene Corner. You could use another BookTubers or any form of celebrity book club like Reese's, Richard and Judy, all that fun stuff. So it doesn't have to be a legit book club that you are part of. Next up, the team are working hard to gather evidence. Read a book with any kind of additional information. So this could be a map, a glossary, a pronunciation guide, just any additional information inside the book. Everything needs to be documented on camera, of course. The body, the surrounding area, any clues left behind by the suspect. So read a book with a photographic cover. I just want to try and find you some examples. This is not a photographic cover because this is illustrated. However, this is a photographic cover because it is literally a picture of Jeanette McCurdy. This one also, it's an actual picture of a house. Whether it's edited, that doesn't count, but like it's not an illustration, it's an actual picture of a house. This one wouldn't count because it is an illustrated fake file with just some text. There's no photograph involved. Next up, on searching the scene, a knife is found in the bushes and it is believed to be the murder weapon. Read a book with any sort of weapon on the cover. If you want to stretch that and use anything you could use as a weapon, that counts. Annoyingly, I wrote this prompt before I actually put the outfit on, but I said the victim is found in leggings and a sweatshirt that reads, "I like books more than I like people. Read a book with a cover that matches your current outfit." Next up, an eyewitness comes forward who was out walking her dog at the time of the attack. Read a book that you've seen recommended. Obviously, you would have actually like heard it be recommended, or you've seen it on Instagram, you've seen it in a video, you know what I mean. The victim has been removed from the scene and the examiners have determined her cause of death to be blood loss from the fatal knife wound. Read a lowly rated book. It doesn't have to be your lowest rated, but anything that you have seen with a low rating. If you don't use book tracking softwares of any kind, just a review that you've seen that is low. Examinations continue and the victim has been identified as Jane Doe, age 28. Read a book in the first person perspective. Jane was married, and let's face it, it's always the husband. Read a romance book or a book with a romance subplot. So I know a lot of you from doing this prompt before don't particularly read romances, but anything where there is a romance kind of element, a romantic relationship being in the storyline at some point. DNA evidence is obtained from under the victim's fingernails and fingerprints on the murder weapon. Read a family related book. Anything with a familial relationship. Something that's springing to my mind is the reappearance of Rachel Price, which is about a mother-daughter relationship. It doesn't have to be the main focus of the story, but just something where you're dealing with a family. Although the case appears to be cut and dry, you'd like some help from somebody more experienced. Read a book published 2 or more years ago. The suspect is identified as John Doe, Jane's husband, and he's located at their marital home. Read a book with a name in the title. I did mean this to be a person's name, but if you want to stretch it to a place name, go for it. I'm just giving you ways to stretch the prompts, but yeah, just go for it. John is brought in for questioning and is adamant that he had nothing to do with his wife's murder. Read a book with a question in the title, or alternatively some form of interview-based storyline. Again, something that springs to mind is the reappearance of Rachel Price, which is about filming a documentary and interviewing people. Off the top of my head, I now can't think of any books with questions in the titles, but I'll put some examples on the screen of what I'm considering. Despite John's protests of his innocence, the DNA evidence is clear and John is placed under arrest. Read a book with a villain. Hold up. John's secretary has arrived with a confession. She can provide John with an alibi, as they were together at the time of the murder. His alibi is airtight. They're even caught on camera at the local hotel. Read a book with a legal word in the title. All of the legal words have now slipped my mind. This is why I bring notes, but it doesn't look like I've done great with the notes. How about The Mysterious Case of the Alperton Angels? I've just found the book on my shelf. Outlawed by Anna North. Or we could stretch it. The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. Fine? A fine is legal, right? Well, we've wasted time with John. On his exit out of the station, there is a call from dispatchers. Another body has been found. Read a sequel or the next book in a series. Time is running out. We can't let the body count go up to 3. Read a short book, so anything less than 300 pages, or the shortest book on your TBR. And last but not least, the final square. John's affair has sparked a hunch, and you decide to trust it. Further investigation shows that Jane was also having an affair with Joe Bloggs, who had access to the house and therefore John's DNA this whole time. You've cracked the case. Reward yourself and read a 5-star prediction. So how do you finish the readathon? Those are all of the prompts, and if you're reading one by one, you finish the readathon when you finish the final prompt. However, if you're rolling, as I will be, you finish the readathon by cracking the case, by reading that last square, and that is what I want to talk about now. If you land one space away and then you roll a 3 and that would take you off the board, technically you still need to read that cracked the case square, and that is why I've included it as 5-star prediction, because something I do in my reading is I don't read 5-star predictions. I just leave them on my shelves forever. So that means however you are doing the readathon, to complete it, you will have to read a 5-star prediction. I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, then please do reach out. Obviously, my comments are fully open, but if you want to reach out on any social medias, which are always attached in the description, then that is where you can find me. I have also attached a Google Drive link to the board if you want to print one out for yourself to move around it. Please tag me in any TBRs that you do. I'd love to see who is taking part and what they're reading. But for now, this is a big video to edit and publish and release. So thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.